car that costs more than a private jet, a super yacht, and a Beverly Hills mansion combined. While a Bugatti Chiron will set you back $3 million and a Lamborghini costs what most people spend on a house, there's one car on this list that makes them look like bargain bin toys. But here's the question that'll blow your mind. What if I told you the most expensive car ever sold wasn't even the fastest, the most powerful, or the newest? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll discover what billionaires really pay for when they drop 8 figures on 4 wheels. Let's get into it. Number 5. Rolls Royce Boat Tail. Coming in at number 5, we have the Rolls Royce Boat Tail. And before you even ask about the price, let me tell you something that'll make your jaw drop. Only 3 of these masterpieces exist in the entire world. Yes, you heard that right, 3. And each one is completely unique to its owner. The boat tail stretches an elegant 228 inches in length, making it one of the longest luxury vehicles ever crafted. But what makes this automotive jewel truly extraordinary? It's entirely coach-built, meaning every single component is handcrafted specifically for the individual client. This isn't a car you can figure online, my friends. This is automotive haute couture. Exterior is nothing short of breathtaking. Inspired by classic 1920s racing yachts, the boat tail features a distinctive dual-tone paint scheme with a stunning boat tail rear deck that literally opens up like a luxury yacht. And here's where it gets insane. Beneath that deck, you'll find a fully integrated hosting suite, complete with a champagne fridge that keeps your bottles at exactly 6 degrees Celsius, custom Christoffel cutlery, and a parasol that deploys at the touch of a button. Yes, this car comes with its own built-in picnic setup worth more than most cars on the road. Under the hood lies Rolls-Royce's legendary 6.75-liter twin-turbocharged V12 engine, producing 563 horsepower and a monumental 664 pound-feet of torque. But here's the thing about Rolls-Royce. They don't shout about 0 to 60 times or top speeds. This engine delivers what they call effortless power, gliding you from standstill to highway speeds with the smoothness of silk sliding across marble. Step inside and you're transported into a realm where time, money, and conventional automotive designs simply don't exist. The cabin features the finest leather, sourced from bulls raised in regions free of barbed wire and insects to ensure 0 blemishes. The wood veneers, they're selected from trees that fell naturally, aged for years, and hand-matched so perfectly that the grain flows seamlessly across the entire dashboard. The centerpiece is a clock that took 2 years to develop, featuring rose gold accents and a mechanism so precise it would make Swiss watchmakers weep with envy. The sound system? It's a bespoke audio system engineered to create what Rolls-Royce calls the Cathedral of Sound, where every note is delivered with crystalline perfection. But wait, here's something that'll make you wonder. If this car costs around $28 million, what could possibly justify going even higher? What features could push a vehicle into territories that make the boat tail look affordable? Starting at approximately $28 million, the Rolls-Royce Boat Tail represents the pinnacle of bespoke automotive artistry. It's not just a car, it's a rolling statement that says money is truly no object. Number 4. Bugatti La Voiture Noire. At number 4, we have the Bugatti La Voiture Noire, and this is where things get absolutely wild. The name translates to the black car, but calling this just a black car is like calling the Mona Lisa just a painting. This automotive masterpiece measures 202 inches in length and was created as a tribute to the legendary Bugatti Type 57 SC Atlantic, one of the most valuable classic cars ever made. Only one La Voiture Noire exists, making it even more exclusive than our number 5 pick. The exterior is sculpted from carbon fiber and features a design that's simultaneously aggressive and elegant. The entire body flows in one continuous carbon fiber piece with no visible seams or panel gaps. The front grille is hand-polished to a mirror finish, and those LED headlights, they cost more than a luxury sedan. The wheels are unique 3D printed pieces that were designed specifically for this one vehicle, wrapped in custom Michelin tires that were developed exclusively for this one car. Here's where Bugatti flexes its engineering muscle. Beneath that flowing black exterior sits the same quad-turbocharged 8-liter V16 engine found in the Chiron, but tuned to produce 1,500 horsepower. That's not a typo. 1,500 horses. This monster can accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 2.4 seconds and reach a top speed of 261 miles per hour. hour, though the owner probably won't test that limit. But here's a question. With 1,500 horsepower and the ability to hit 261 miles per hour, why would someone pay nearly 4 times more than a standard Chiron? What's the real value here? Inside, the La Voiture Noire offers an interior draped in the finest leather with exposed carbon fiber accents throughout. The center console features a continuous piece of polished aluminum that flows from the dashboard through to the rear bulkhead. Every control, every switch, every surface is machined from solid aluminium or carbon fiber. There are no plastic components anywhere in this cabin. The instrument cluster is a fully digital display that can be customized to show anything from traditional analog-style gauges to a full navigation map. The sound system is a bespoke unit engineered by Bugatti's audio team to deliver concert hall quality sound even at 200 miles per hour. The fuel economy? Well, at 8 mpg city and 14 mpg highway, efficiency isn't exactly the priority here. But when you're spending this kind of money, you're not counting gallons, you're counting experiences. What if I told you there's a car that costs twice as much as this Bugatti, but it can't even go half as fast? The reason why will shock you. Priced at approximately $18.7 million, the Bugatti La Voiture Noire represents the ultimate expression of automotive performance art. It's a rolling sculpture that happens to be the fastest car money can buy.
3. Pagani Zonda HP Barchetta. Sliding into the number 3 position is the Pagani Zonda HP Barchetta. And if you thought the previous entries were exclusive, prepare yourself. Only 3 of these exist worldwide, and all 3 are already owned by collectors who will never sell them. The HP Barchetta, which stands for Horacio Pagani, and Barchetta, meaning little boat in Italian, measures just 171 inches in length, making it the smallest car on our list. But as they say, dynamite comes in small packages. The design is absolutely otherworldly. This is a roofless speedster with an exposed cockpit that features 2 sculpted humps behind the seats, reminiscent of classic racing cars from the 1950s. The entire body is crafted from Carbo-Titanium, a material so exotic and expensive that Pagani is one of the few manufacturers in the world capable of working with it. The front end features 4 circular headlights and a low-slung nose that makes the car look like it's crouching, ready to pounce. The side profile is dominated by massive side exit exhausts that exit just behind the doors, creating a symphony of sound that would make angels weep. And the rear? It features an exposed engine bay covered by a transparent carbon fiber panel so everyone can see the mechanical art within. Speaking of that engine, the Zonda HP Barchetta is powered by an AMG-sourced 7.3-liter naturally aspirated V12 that produces 789 horsepower and 553 pound-feet of torque. This engine revs to a screaming 7,500 RPM and produces one of the most glorious exhaust notes in automotive history, paired with a 6-speed manual transmission. Because Horacio Pagani believes in the purity of the driving experience, this car can sprint from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 3.4 seconds. But here's the interesting part. Despite having less power than the Bugatti and a slower 0 to 60 time, the Zonda HP Barchetta costs more. Why? Because this isn't about performance numbers on a spec sheet. This is about art, exclusivity, and owning something that can never be replicated. The interior is where Pagani's obsession with detail truly shines. Every component is machined from solid aluminum, including the pedals, the gear lever, and even the air vent controls. The dashboard features analog gauges that look like they belong in a Swiss watch boutique. The seats are wrapped in leather so soft it feels like butter, with exposed carbon fiber backing that's been hand-woven. The center console features a gated manual shifter that's been machined from a single block of aluminum and weighs nearly nothing. Every surface you touch has been hand-polished to perfection. There's no radio, no navigation system, no driver assists. This is driving in its purest, most visceral form. Here's a question that'll make you think. If a car with 789 horsepower costs more than one with 1,500 horsepower, what does that tell us about what ultra-wealthy collectors really value? The answer is coming, and it'll change how you think about expensive cars forever. At approximately $17.6 million, the Pagani Zonda HP Barchetta is proof that in the world of ultra-luxury automobiles, rarity and artistry trump raw performance every single time.
2. Mercedes Benz Maybach Exelero. Now we're getting into truly rarefied air with the number 2 spot, the Mercedes Benz Maybach Exelero. And here's where our story takes a fascinating turn, because this car was never meant to be sold at all. The Exelero stretches an imposing 230 inches in length, making it one of the longest coupes ever created. This massive machine was originally commissioned by Fulda, the German tire company, as a test vehicle for their high-performance tires. Yes, you heard that correctly. This $8 million car started life as a tire testing platform. But Mercedes-Benz doesn't do anything halfway. The exterior design is brutally aggressive, featuring sharp angles, massive 23-inch wheels, and a front grille that looks like it could swallow smaller cars whole. The carbon fiber body sits low and wide, with a roofline that swoops dramatically from front to rear. The design language screams German engineering meets dark, sinister elegance. The front end is dominated by LED headlights and a massive Mercedes star that announces its pedigree. The side profile features dramatic character lines and side exit exhausts that rumble with authority. The rear is equally dramatic, with a full-width LED light bar and a diffuser that looks like it belongs on a race car. Under that long hood lies a twin-turbocharged V12 engine displacing 5.9 liters and producing a staggering 700 horsepower and 752 pounds of torque. This allows the Exelero to rocket from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 4.4 seconds and achieve a verified top speed of 218 miles per hour, making it one of the fastest luxury cars ever built. Now here's something interesting. Remember when I asked what makes a slower car more expensive? We're getting closer to the answer, and the Exelero gives us a major clue. This car appeared in a Jay-Z music video, was owned by rapper Birdman, and has become a cultural icon. Sometimes provenance and story matter more than specifications. The interior is pure Maybach opulence. Passengers are surrounded by the finest Napa leather, Alcantara headliner, and carbon fiber accents throughout. The dashboard features analog gauges trimmed in brushed aluminum, and every control is machined from solid metal. The seats are electrically adjustable in 20 different ways and feature heating, cooling, and massage functions. The sound system is a custom Burmester unit with 24 speakers strategically placed throughout the cabin to create an immersive audio experience. The climate control system features separate zones for driver and passenger, with an air quality sensor that filters out pollutants. But here's what makes the Exelero truly special. It's a one-off. There is only one Maybach Exelero. That's it. You literally cannot buy another one no matter how much money you have. And that brings us to a crucial realization about ultra-expensive cars. Are you starting to see the pattern? The most expensive cars aren't always the fastest, the most powerful, or the most technologically advanced. They're the ones with the best stories, the greatest rarity, and the most cultural significance. Valued at approximately $8 million, the Mercedes-Benz Maybach Exelero represents the intersection of performance, luxury, and absolute exclusivity. But it's about to be completely overshadowed by our number 1 pick. 1963 Ferrari 250 GTO. And now the moment you've been waiting for, the number 1 most expensive car money can buy. And the answer to our opening question. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the 1963 Ferrari 250 GTO. Now before you say, wait, that's a vintage car from the 1960s. How can it be number 1? Let me hit you with this fact. In 2018, a 1963 Ferrari 250 GTO sold at private auction for a record-breaking $70 million. That's right, $70 million. That's nearly 4 times more expensive than the Rolls Royce Boat Tail. And that car has a champagne fridge. The 250 GTO measures just 169 inches in length, making it the smallest and oldest car on our list. But don't let that fool you. This is arguably the most significant automobile ever created. The exterior is pure Italian artistry, designed by Giotto Bizzarini and refined in the wind tunnel by engineer Mauro Forghieri. Every curve, every vent, every line serves a purpose. The long hood flows into a cabin positioned far back, creating perfect weight distribution. The iconic covered headlights give it an aggressive, purposeful look. The voluptuous rear fenders house massive rear tires, and that rear end, it's been studied and copied by automotive designers for over 60
60 years. Here's the kicker. Only 36 Ferrari 250 GTOs were ever made between 1962 and 1964. That's it, 36. And every single one is accounted for, most sitting in private collections of the world's wealthiest individuals. There's literally no way to buy one unless a current owner decides to sell, which rarely happens. Under that gorgeous hood sits a 3-liter Tipo 168/62 Comp V12 engine producing just 300 horsepower. Wait, what? Just 300 horsepower? That's less than many modern minivans. Here's what you need to understand. In 1963, this engine was cutting-edge technology. It could propel the GTO to 174 miles per hour and helped it win the FIA GT World Championship 3 consecutive years. The exterior is Spartan by modern standards. There's no air conditioning, no power steering, no infotainment system, just a simple dashboard with a few gauges, a wooden steering wheel wrapped in leather, 2 bucket seats. The gear shifter is a long metal wand that requires skill and precision to operate. This is driving in its absolute purest form. So why would someone pay $70 million for a car with 300 horsepower and no cup holders? Because the Ferrari 250 GTO represents something far more valuable than performance specs or luxury features. It represents heritage, rarity, and cultural significance. It's about owning something that represents a pinnacle moment in automotive history, something that can never be recreated, replicated, or replaced. This car has provenance that money simply cannot buy. Many 250 GTOs have racing histories with famous drivers, documented victories at legendary circuits like Le Mans and Monza, and stories that span decades. When you own a 250 GTO, you're not just owning a car, you're owning a piece of automotive history that will only become more valuable as time passes. And here's the answer to our opening question. The most expensive car money can buy isn't about speed, power, or modern technology. It's about heritage, rarity, and cultural significance. It's about owning something that represents a pinnacle moment in automotive history, something that can never be recreated, replicated, or replaced. The Ferrari 250 GTO has appreciated more than any other investment vehicle in history. If you bought one in the 1970s for $10,000, it would now be worth over 7,000 times that amount. Try finding a stock, real estate, or cryptocurrency investment that can match that. In the world of ultra-luxury automobiles, price isn't determined by horsepower, top speed, or even luxury features. It's determined by rarity, history, and cultural significance. These aren't just cars. They're rolling investments, pieces of art, and status symbols that separate the ultra-wealthy from the merely rich. If you had unlimited money, which of these 5 would you choose? Would you go for the modern luxury of the Boat Tail, the raw performance of the La Voiture Noire, the artistic purity of the Pagani, the cultural icon status of the Exelero, or the legendary investment potential of the 250 GTO? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into automotive excess, smash that like button, subscribe for more luxury car content, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. Until next time, keep dreaming big.